Hello and welcome to Momotype, a short little visual novel developed by Rimatoad, available on itch.io and Steam. It's about playtesting a virtual pet, I believe, kind of like a tamogotchi, but with a bit of a twist, I think, because it is a horror game, as it turns out. So, a bit of a warning there. There's probably some themes of horror, in this game. But let's see what that's all about. Press start. Let's see. Your neighborhood, New Ribosome Town. Ribosome Town? The chains of DNA spin on your screen. They make a web of helixes until the logo of the Rimatoad core appears in a white font. The ad has begun. Gee, can I save? Yeah, I wanna... Well, I'm not sure if I can save or not, but I do want to change the options, actually. I don't know what it is, but I prefer the text speed to be slightly a little bit slower than just max. I like it when they appear rather than or I like it when they appear slowly rather than pop up instantly. But anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, the corporation for the advertisement pops up, and they were all the rage in the 2100s. It's in the future. You knew them as monotypes, your digital pocket friend. You'd feed them, play games with them, and watch them grow. Mom and Dad liked them because there was no cleanup. You liked them because they were fun. Yes, Tamagotchi. The only Tamagotchi I ever owned in real life, I forget what it was necessarily. I just remember that it was very needy, by the time I was done feeding it or cleaning it or whatever in the day, and then I would leave it, right? I would just go to sleep and wake up the next morning and it was just full of poop and it would just die, because I feel like you would just have to keep taking care of it even when you were sleeping, but that was impossible. I need to sleep. I can't just be awake the entire time and be taking care of this virtual pet. I feel like, I don't know. At least the one I had was just really needy, and therefore it would just die instantly because I just couldn't take care of it when I was asleep. But anyway, with the advent of the digital age, we at Rimatoad Corporation really, have noticed society changing. Birth rates in this country have hit an all-time low, not seen ever since the plague. Oh no, the plague. I mean... Soon our workforce will be depleted and unemployed. Once this occurs, industry will fail. As you all know, this is an existential threat not only to ourselves, but more importantly, our gross domestic product. Obviously, our GDP is so important. Monotypes, our digital pocket pets, have not helped this situation. In fact, it's supported this decline. We want people to have kids. This, unfortunately, cannot be accomplished through digital software. It can, however, be accomplished through our new product. Of course, we must fix the problem by introducing new products. Today, we're excited to announce the shipment of a new line of monotypes, the real monotype. The digital enters the physical. Watch them grow and change like real pets. Cuddle them like real pets. Play with them like real pets. Know the joys of parenthood. Order now at no cost. Supplies limited. Will this fix our birth rate? I don't know. Place an order? No, that's okay. I'm just gonna... It turns out that this is a government-sponsored program. When you head to work the next day, your manager corrals your... Can I say that word? Corrals your team into a huddle. He explains that everyone will be receiving a monotype. Has a partnership formed between Imatato, it's like imitation, right? But Imatato Corporation, the employee asks. You're right on the money, Christine, your manager says. We have to get this country moving, and corporate wants to be that vehicle of change, he says, shaking his fist in the air. Your hours will be unpaid, but the week will be passed by like nothing. Pizza parties on Friday. Yes, free pizza at the very least. Your home, New Ribosome City. Okay. I guess either way we get stuck with the monotype, maybe? Anyway, that's my understanding. Also, we live in a capitalist dystopia, I feel like, anyway. A dust storm, lead in the air, you're in a desert-like area. There's nothing around you besides the sound of your thoughts. You cannot find any... Well, a friend tomorrow is a friend for life. Supplies limited. Oh. Okay. You're awake. Remnants of the dream pass and fade into static. You're back to your show. You're going to watch television until you hear noise outside your door. Someone has left something on your porch. It's for you. Amazon delivery. As it turns out, in the 2100s, Amazon still exists. In fact, it's one of the main corporations and actually overlords of our society. But anyway, when you open the door, there it is, a small creature laying in a basket. It's sleeping soundly. Okay. So again, it's like a Tamagotchi, except it's real. That's the idea, I guess. It's a real pet instead. So it can die, and poop everywhere. And then die again. All you want in real life. The monotype you ordered has arrived. It has soft skin. Its ears are pointed. They feel like beanbags upon further inspection. It's a monotype, but in physical form, as per the ad. I mean, basically, it's Digimon when you think about it, I mean, Digimon was based on kind of like Tamagotchi, kind of like toys, right, in the first place. But now this is just like real Digimon, as it turns out. You want to assume it's a plushie. Well, to your surprise, however, the monotype is warm. The terms of your purchase have not been released. Keep it? Nah, it's okay. I don't know. I always like to just choose the dumb options first. Nah, that's okay. You leave the creature outside. The night ends. You sleep to a blank dream. The next morning, you open your door to see the monotype on your porch. Its body is still. Upon touching the creature, you realize that it's cold. It's frozen to death. Well, you pick up the basket and after some inspection, throw it and the monotype in the trash. You'll be fired the next day. Oops. Your manager's reasoning in his words was that this wasn't optional. He then wonders, how could you be so heartless and then leave the creature out in the cold? He continues, shaking his fist in the air. Corporate did not like this. I didn't like this. I can't trust you anymore, and neither can your coworkers. You're gone. You're fired. In his lap is a monotype of his own. It will stare at you inquisitively. Is that right, Momo? We don't want this bad person in our office. He points at you. The monotype asks you a question. You can't hear it. Okay. I assume that's one ending. That's the I don't want it ending, I assume. Let's try again. Let's see. Yeah, okay. I assume I can skip. Oh yeah, okay. I can skip. This is like I assume in like a visual novel engine. I assume Renpy. I think I recognize the UI. Okay, this time they're asking me to place an order. I mean, what if we just place the order anyway? It doesn't matter either way, I guess. Your order is coming sooner than expected. The postal service is expediting all monotype orders. When you head to work the next day, you find that this is a government sponsored program, and then Yep, your order's been canceled. We'll be providing work-issued ones. Okay, again, it doesn't matter either way. Everyone will be receiving a monotype. Yep. Gotta keep the country moving. You'll always be unpaid, though. You don't get paid for this. You're just forced to use it. I don't know. I mean, it's, if you think it in a positive way, it's just a perk of the job, maybe. It's kind of like receiving a free laptop or something. I don't know. But then again, if you don't take care of it, though, you get fired. But, don't think of it as a job. Think of it as fun. Yeah. Every day's fun at your job. TM. Alright, well this time let's just keep it. Let's actually take care of it, maybe. Well, you take the creature inside. Monotypes live for approximately 7 days. A nut has been packed in the basket. Take care of them, they will grow. Monotypes love humans, so give them some love back. It's essential for their well-being. The note ends and there's nothing else by way of instructions. You decide it's time for bed. A collection of particles circle around. They are diluted with a heavy substance, though you can't tell what. In your dream, the particles attempt to create form and in doing so assemble into a storm. Inside the storm, there's no one and nothing, except small spaces where it's immeasurably dark. Your vision recedes. You look from a bird's eye view into the storm, hoping to get a better look. As soon as you think you spot a person, the particles scatter. You repeat this process until finally you realize you're completely alone, and the dream ends. Some weird dreams. I mean, every dream is weird, I guess. My dreams are, again, very mundane, I feel like. Slightly strange. You know what, actually, no, there's one dream that kind of stands out to me, actually. That was kind of like a pseudo-nightmare, but I wasn't necessarily super scared, in the dream itself, I guess. But I remember dreaming like this kind of weird zombie apocalypse where everyone was being infected, but like with like a weird parasite. and like people weren't turning to zombies. Like it was like a typical zombie apocalypse, because the parasites were able to mimic the human behavior in our society, so you wouldn't know who was a zombie or not, you know. But then they was slowly infecting the entire population. That was my dream anyway. That's probably been done already. Isn't there like an anime about that? I don't know. I don't think it's a very unique dream, but or like story, I guess. But that was my dream. You know, I had a dream where everyone was like being infected by like a weird parasite, and then they were like pretending to be humans, and I was like, oh no, you know, who's real and who's not? And I ran away. But I also like. It was kind of weird. The dream ended with me like driving a car up a ramp and then into an airport, and then I met someone who's like one of the last survivors who were not infected, I think, and then we were being attacked by the parasites. Anyway, it was like a movie actually. I don't have those type of dreams very often. I don't have like action movie dreams very often. Often my dreams are very mundane. Anyway, I'm going about a big tangent. Here's our monotype though. Isn't it cute? You hear it shuffling by your bed. You wake up to see that it's moving, or what is moving. The monotype is by your feet. Hello parent. Momo will stay with you for the rest of your life. Do you love Momo? Momo already knows the answer. Okay. There's different options. Well, let's see. Sure, you know, we'll play it by the book. The first, well, I say the first time. Technically, it's the second time. But sure, you know, we got fired last time. Or in the alternate timeline, anyway. So let's just say, yeah. Yeah, sure. I love them. I love Momo. I love you, Momo. Momo has received as well. Your answer was never in question. After all, he's cute. A moment passes. Momo's stomach begins grumbling. Now that you think about it, how does Momo manage to eat? Or speak for that matter? The hallway. Momo thinks you have good taste in interior design. Very postmodern. By the way, what does postmodern mean? Momo sighed in a book from your shelf. Truthfully, you don't know. Momo is now humming the Rimatoad Corporation jingle. Okay. Is Momo herbivorous or herbivorous? Herbivorous? A carnivore? You don't know yet, but he seems to like pancakes. He's now full of energy. I have to give him food as well. You know, just wasting our resources. We have enough for only have enough money for like one person in this household, Momo. You gotta start pulling your weight, Momo. You gotta get a job, Momo. No, play with Momo. Momo flies into the air. They're surprisingly heavy. Keep going, parent. After 30 minutes of using Momo like an exercise ball, you're tired. You drop into the floor, and while he lays there absently, you take a moment to catch your breath. This results in some confusion. Momo seems fidgety. Parent, Momo still wants to play. Okay. Sure. You resume chucking Momo into the air. At some point, his body, smashes into the ceiling, and to your surprise, he's unaffected. He requests that you keep going. The process is repeated until your arms give up. He's like, Thank you, parent. Could you cook pancakes tomorrow? Momo asks. Then he hops off. You lay crumpled on the floor. just dead. Upstairs, you can hear small thuds in the hallway. They eventually reach your bedroom, and soon enough the noise stops. Momo looks like a plush doll. He lays like a pile of goo. You decide to pet him, but to your surprise his body is taut. Underneath is a muscle-bound creature. What? No, time to go bed. In the theater of Momo's mind, there is nothing. The only thing that can be made out is the appearance of a person. Momo is dreaming about someone, and it's most likely you. Well, you're back in the desert. Still in bird's eye view, the particles have ceased to move. You know you've been waiting a long time, longer than you've waited in real life. You want something to happen. You know this is a dream, but the particles, your buoyed vision, the endless wait, years could pass without contradiction. For now, this is everything. As you've been waiting, the particles have started moving. They are scattered like dust, above you even higher than where you currently are. It starts raining to an innumerable degree. You ascend. You're now in the clouds. The rain is below you. You're looking down from an even higher position. Finally, without your own observation, the particles begin assembling. They seem to form something definite. You don't notice the figure below you until you see a hand waving. Oh, okay. Oh, just scroll back real quick because it felt abrupt there. Well, it's a new day. Time to head our way. Momo heard that this country's GDP is on the fritz. Soon nobody will be making babies anymore. Banks will go under, food will be short, mass suicides all around. Will Momo be there for it? No. Momo has a bunker out in southwest Rebo City. Very safe, well stocked. How does Momo know so much about the world? Intuition. Doesn't Momo know where bunker is? No, and is not like revealing such details. Parent, can Momo ask you a question? What is GDP? Momo pauses. Momo does not know what a bunker is. To tell you the truth, is that a type of pancake? Okay. Just spouting some weird things about the end of the world, and yet not knowing what it's saying. Well, let's head to the kitchen, I guess. Yeah, click on those like interactive parts other than the choices, I wonder. Anyway. Momo has not yet decided what to eat. You want him to try new foods. What should you give him? Cigarette. You know, Momo, you should eat your vegetables. Here's some artichoke. According to Momo, the artichoke heart looks like a pretty flower, and because flowers are pretty, his words not yours, he graciously eats it. Why is this food shaped this way? Is all food shaped this way? Why do we eat, parent? You do not have reasonable answers to these queries. The world is truly strange, Momo says. Life with Momo is relatively simple. They are a crude mix between a child and a virtual pet. Concerning this, you don't have any particular feelings. However, this does make it difficult when asked questions concerning Momo's identity. Is Momo human, he asks. A lot of different choices. I'm just gonna tell the truth. No? If I'm not human, then why does parent take care of me? Because you should care for all living beings. Wouldn't you agree? Because it's mutually beneficial. You get food and room, and I get a pet, I guess. Sure. Let's say this. You should care for all living things. Wouldn't you agree? Momo looks at you from the ground. Momo thought care was only reserved for humans. That humans could accomplish such a thing. I never thought of it that way. Reserved for humans. At this line, you take a pause. Why would it be reserved for humans, you ask? Humans are everything. Wouldn't you agree? He responds. Today, you've decided to show Momo the world. Through your television, a reflection of the real world. Oh no, he's gonna grow up. Just like seeing the world through the television, where everything is actually fake. You know, you better not show him social media, right? You place Momo onto the couch where they can browse a selection of different shows. Momo does not know what television is. However, you turn on your cable box. Which program should you tune into? Planet Hippo, Dragon Sphere, or a new sheriff in town? I don't know. Let's show Planet Hobo? Planet Hobo? No, Planet Hippo sounds like a kid-friendly TV show to me, so sure. Let's watch Planet Hippo. Look at the size of this one, mate. Look at the size of this one, mate. A man with an accent is pointing to a hippo. What a pretty little lady you got here. Along with his camera crew, the presenter is hiding in a bush. He wears a pair of binoculars and a khaki shorts. Okay, I thought it was gonna be like a cartoon, but no. I guess this is you know, the guy that like watches animals, I guess, or goes searching for them. What's his name? Did he like pass away, I think? I forget his name, you know? He goes, crikey, look at that. Oh, Bertha's put on a couple hundred, but she's ripe. Gorgeous. He licks his lips. The presenter then exits the shade of the bush and runs to the sandy bank where the hippo lies. Come here, Bertha, you sly gal, okay? He enters the water, lifting his legs as fast as he can go. The mother hippo stares the man down, nostrils above water. Weird. Why does he run? Momo asks. For footage of the hippo, you respond. Momo takes a moment. What does he want to do with the hippo? The man on the screen grabs the hippo and subsequently is flung into the air. He's then pulled into the water and he does not resurface. Okay. Between the two of you, there's a long pause. Finally, you speak up. Yeah, I don't really like him either. You decided to change channels. Okay. Okay, you could just choose a different channel. Dragon Sphere, why not? Is it like Dragon Ball? You know, maybe? I knew it. You'll pay for this, Frieza. On my life, I swear to destroy you. This ends now. A man with rippling muscles stands on screen. It looks like he's squatting like he's using a toilet. In actuality, he's powering up. super angry. Or, it's Vegeta saying this. Super angry. That's the stuff of legends. Artichoke of all people, blast it all, yells Vegeta to no one in particular. Artichoke, the other man yelling, has been in one position for the past 15 minutes. Rocks levitate, thunderstorms form, and lava erupts from the ground. In the meantime, Frieza, who is awestruck, stares his rippling muscles. This continues for another 20 minutes. You killed him! You killed... Grillin! I don't know. And this time, Artichoke and Frieza only managed to make grunts at each other. I guess managed to make grunts at each other? Or anyway. At the 40th minute mark, Artichoke finally releases his energy and his hair turns blonde. His muscles are bigger now. Frieza, from what you can tell, is in awe of his bulging chest. There's silence until Artichoke breaks it by speaking. He says but one thing. Now, I'm really angry. Frieza blushes. Blushes? The episode ends. Good. Amazing. Classic. I guess we'll look at this one too. A new sheriff in town. I don't know. I can do like a cowboy. I don't know. I can't do accents. I ain't having a swig of this. A mustachioed man fitted with a cowboy hat spits on the ground. Tastes like my mother's burnt boot. The bartender hides his frustration. Just give me that whiskey. Suddenly the door opens and the sunlight emerges a shadowy figure. It looks to be a man in his early 40s, tan with multiple scars. Sheriff Dudley, snake in the bush, sin incarnate. His hand waves in a grand gesture. How many holes could I press into that suit of yours before you bleed? The tan man pulls out his revolver, and Lord did he know, despite all my guilt and sorrows, iron cuts deep. You'll know what that means to... Bottle to the right. Yes, there. Sheriff Dudley flicks his wrist to the whiskey bottle in the corner. The bartender does not move. Well, get a move on. When nothing happens, Sheriff Dudley slaps his fingers on the table. Dudley, the tan man says, the devil welcomes a new man to his hearth. You will pay for your crimes against me. Dudley stares down, then sucks his teeth. The tan man has cocked his gun. Well, dog? The sheriff does not move. Gonna get up or you a cock with no butt? The whistle of a bullet is preceded by a hole appearing in the tan man's head. The words will not exit his mouth and his face drops into his expression. He falls to the floor. Language there, friend. Sheriff Dudley turns to the bartender, a grimace on his face. How many times I gotta ask, son? Okay, and that's like a typical Western scene. I don't know if it's a reference to any particular movie, but it was a cowboy movie. Well, after watching TV, you decide it's time for bed. Momo hobbles up the stairs. You cook something for yourself before deciding it's a good time for bed. Momo sleeps soundly. In the theater of Momo's mind, they are studying hippos. For Momo, their vision has collapsed on this image. It is all they're currently dreaming of. In your dream, the bargoes have formed a shadow. From your height, you believe the shadow to be your own. It is overcast, and there is no available light. A question arises and presents a contradiction. How could shadows exist if there is no light? You already know why. You descend to the earth. The shadow mimics your movements and rises up. It is not a shadow. It is face to face to you now. When you move your right arm, it moves his right arm. When you move your left, it does the same. This dark formation mimics your every move. You find it unnerving. You decide to dig into the earth and hide until the shadow goes away. As you descend, the shadow rises into the air, becomes the object, projecting its figure onto the earth. You realize that you are the shadow, and the dark formation, by contrast, has become you. You have switched positions, and you feel a tinge of regret. Weird dreams. Momo has woken up excited. Could we try something new? He asks. Okay. Click, click, click. It was just turning around. In the far corners of your room, Momo has picked up a copy of 100 Facts About Hippos. You do not know how this book appeared in your house. Just mysteriously. He's been reading it since daytime. Parent, would you like to know a hippo fact? Sure. Hippos can hold their breath for approximately 5 minutes. They cannot swim. Instead, they bound through the water using the force of their feet. Incredible, don't you think? Let me give you another hippo fact. Sure. Hippos are known to live in small herds of up to 10 to 20 other hippos. They are led by a dominant hippo, while the others are submissive to him. Essentially, it's a harem. It's an anime harem. By the way, what is a harem? Oh, let me show you my rom-com anime shows. No, Oh, and there's another thing about hippos. Sure. According to this researcher, hippos may have consciousness, like that of a human. Some even say that because of their brain size and neural connectivity, it may be similar to that of a pig or a whale. Although it's impossible to tell, because as you know, we're not hippos, we're human. Well, you're not human, Momo, as I mentioned before. You know? You're not human, Momo. Momo has been reading another hippo fact until he hears you. He stops scanning the book and his body is furrowed. You furrow your body? What do you mean? Momo is not what? Not human? You thought you already established this, or that Momo had already known this. It seems that raising Momo as a human has been confusing. Is his identity still forming? Is the Momo actually just a child? You are a parent. Momo stares his non-existent feet. You are a parent, I am your son. He says a final time, you are my parent and I am your son. This time he looks up at you. I'm not your parent, or... Didn't we already establish this? Momo spasms. Oh no. He puts down the book about hippo facts and for a moment stares into blank space. He's not saying anything for 5 minutes. He's not moved thereafter. Oh no. Did I choose the wrong option? I was hoping to make sure to understand that Momo was a pet, you know, not a human. Because I feel like that would just make it delusional. But did I cause an existential crisis suddenly? And as if nothing had happened, Momo picks up the book. Hey parent, would you like to know another hippo fact? No. I'm just gonna sleep. So it is the dream. A shadow stays in the air. You stay in the ground. A white sphere is opening up from the storm. It looks upon the both of you. Would you like to get out, friend? To this you can't respond as you do not have a mouth. You do not have arms either. You, in the air. Would you like to get out? The shadow, still floating in the air, does not give a response. In this entropic storm, or entropic, it will be hard to make out. The sphere's words, however, are clear. Light comes from the sphere. It has a dark center. A moment of clarity arrives and you realize that the sphere is the sun. You shouldn't stare at the sun though, you know, you go blind. Would you like to get out? The sun asks. Congratulations! Momo has evolved! They have grown hippo feet. Wow, they digivolved. Amazing. Momo digivolved to Hippo Momo. Momo has been staring at the mirror since morning. They have not left. Why have I grown feet? They shuffle in the mirror. Why do I look like this? They turn around in the mirror. Why does my face look like this? I shouldn't look like this. Why is this happening? Where are my hands? Where are my fingers? What happened, parent? To take Momo's mind off his recent transformation, you decide to play some television for him. Crikey, mate, Bertha's got even thicker. The man from last time is back. He's wearing a cast around his neck. His khakis have been lined with sweat all around his crotch area. Now, Bertha, I know we had our issues, sweetie, but let's bygones be bygones. The hippo charges at him. Once more, he's flung into the air. He falls on the ground, this time making a loud thud. He does not get up. TV cuts off when an ad is playing. A friend tomorrow is a friend for life. Order Monotype today. The digital meets the physical. The most real organic creation of Rimatoad Corp. Almost like a human child. But not really. Momo has been staring at the screen. They have not moved. Whether by intention or not, you realize your mistake before it's too late. Supplies are limited. Get your very own friend today. Genetically bred to love humans like a real child. The shot cuts to an eerily similar image of a monotype. Isn't that right, Momo? Come by the bunker, Momo. You'll be safe. The bunker. The TV ad ends, and the previous programming continues. You want to go to bed, Momo? You ask meekly. There's no response, and Momo does not want to give you the courtesy of one, or at least that's what seems to be the case. Bed? You ask another time? When no response comes, you inevitably head back to your room. Momo knows where to go, you think. In the theater of Momo's mind, he is seeing his brothers and sisters. Well, The sky is bright in your dream. A cold chill has found itself in the air, and wherever you are, you feel it. Would you like to get out? The sun asks. You're not on the earth anymore. You're standing upright, face to face with your shadow. They've descended. Would you like to get out? The sun asks once more. The shadow then speaks. Yes, I would like to get out. You're puzzled. When you move your hand, the shadow moves his. When you move, he mirrors you. Was the shadow yourself since the beginning? No, you think. Before you can realize the shadow's true nature, they've already moved into the far recesses some other place. They have moved on, and yet you're still here. In the far corners of your dream, particles have been collecting together. Momo is not in bed. You cannot find him. Oh no. He's not in the hallway. You find Momo in front of the mirror. He's staring at himself. I thought you were a parent. If not parent, then a human who loved me. You're neither. This is fake. Will I grow up, parent? Or I'm just a pet to be discarded after serving my purpose? I will never grow up, parent, will I? You can hear pain in Momo's voice. Did you think this was alright, he asked, to give me such a cruel life? You're about to speak, but you're cut off. I'm nothing. A pale imitation, a freak, a process of ideas. This is not funny, Momo looks to you. Everything I will or ever be is centered around you. You're my one love, parent. I am after all your child. Momo's mind is ablaze. They're staring into you. You're the most beautiful thing I have ever seen, and to make it even worse, you're entirely real. I can never come close to you. I'm not even real. Momo inhales. Please no. He pauses. I love you so much it hurts my insides. I want to kiss you and tear out everything in me so I can be at your side. I want to love you endlessly. I've never told you this, parent. Is it even possible? Momo gives his final words. No, it isn't. I only know one thing. You are not human. You are Freemza, the Tan Man, the Hippo Man. Evil, less than human, nothing. Momo hops away. His body jiggles with each step. Okay. I'm Freemza. Momo is nowhere to be found for the rest of the day. You head for bed, unable to fall asleep. You're anxious for the new day. In Momo's dream, they are a hippo. With the absence of your shadow, the sun has since disappeared. Time has continued to pass. It was a trick of the mind, you hear someone say. It feels like your own. Who knows what we'll find in this storm? I'm already you, friend. You're already me, the voice continues. From the horizon there appears the sun once more. I'm already you. It gets even brighter now. You're already me. Standing in the blue center of this desert is a lone body. It is you. You look behind to see your shadow being cast by the sun. It has returned, and not by their own choice. I'm already you. You're already me. Do you want to get out? The voice ends. Your shadow stays beside you. It will not move by itself anymore. Wake up, parents. Okay. What is Momo anyways? A pancake? A bunker? Is Momo an idea? Momo's body is taut. In the depths of their eyes, you see a tunnel. Will you love me? Momo asks. Run away? You run to the hallway. It is empty. The light from the streets reflects into space. Though you cannot see well, you can make out what is behind you. I don't actually love you? Huh? What's that? You don't love me? Why don't you love me? I'm everything you could ever ask for and more. I'm made for you, developed for you. What more do you need? The creature looks at you from a towering height. I wish I had no eyes so I could never see your beauty. I love you so much. Does it just continue? You've entered your living room. The creature has chased after you. If only I was born in a different body. I'm an abomination, a deviant. You're everything I ever wished to be. Please love me. I read the tag in my basket. I only live for 7 days, right? Is this true, parent? But I don't want to die. 7 days, eh? You make me vomit. No human could be this cruel, to raise me as his plaything. I reject it. So I'm designed to love you. I love myself. I am human. You are the creature. A disgusting parasite. A worm. Do you like being stomped, you worm? I know you'll like it. This time it won't be fake. Let's run. Momo reaches for your neck. Know that I still love you. How could I not? You're blacking out. Was I designed to love you, parent? Even so, does it matter? This is the most real thing to me. Please answer me. Parent? Parent? Parents. A dust storm, lead in the air. You are in a desert-like area. There's nothing around you besides the sound of your thoughts. You cannot find anyone. It is very lonely. You decide to craft a mirror. It is made out of the particles circling in the air. In the mirror, you see your reflection. Your swarthy figure walks out of the mirror. The borders between the glass and desert have vanished. Your reflection is now in front of you, and you're both standing together. Your clone stares at you, puzzled. You cannot tell if they're conscious. Are they even alive? Unbeknownst to you, though. However, the clone is having the same thoughts. The vast terrain that separates you is not one of physical distance. It's something more tragic, more real. You both realize that you'll never experience anything other than yourselves. You realize that you're your own world, and nothing more. The shadow vanishes. Desert, despite all your attempts, is empty. Parent, you're conscious. I can't see anything. There's nothing in front of me. Where am I, parent? There's a long pause. You cannot say a word as your throat's been crushed. All around you there is darkness. The lights from the street illuminate everything into vague shapes, but nothing you can truly make out. You hear the sound of your heart beating in this dark room. The air is heavy. I can't see myself, parent. I can't. Where am I, and where are you? I had one more thing to ask. All you can see are vague shadows crossing your line of sight. One of the shadows is Momo. They are large and warm. Your leg raises his body, and to your surprise, he is soft. Can we be friends, parent? Pretty please, pretty please, pretty please. That makes the most sense, parent. For once I agree. Momo takes one more look at himself. If my nature has determined that I meant to love you, then there is only one way. I will make a choice against my nature, one that is not predetermined. You are a parent. This is my own fact. Bye, parent. I'll see you later. Momo has jumped onto the city's streets. They've hit the ground with tremendous thud. You think you see Momo's shadow, in fact a pool of blood has begun to form. They bleed. There are no lights to illuminate Momo's form. They are pitch black. From what you can assume, Momo has died. 2-for-1 sale! Call right now for your monotype today! Your TV has been turned on. The glow from behind draws you closer. Did you love Momo? It is Momo's voice. This is not just an ad. Let's say yes, I did love Momo, but then it turned into a weird creature that started questioning its own existence and then tried to kill me, so I'll say yes. Would you like to stay Momo's parent because Momo will love you till the end of time? Your silence and distance amid the words you're now hearing. Is it real to you? Could you still be my parent? Trick question, none of that matters. I can't tell you how relieved I feel. You cannot reply, your throat does not work. You gotta fix my throat, Momo. You gotta pay for the hospital bill? Well, depending if you live in America, I guess. Will it ever matter to you? Momo is on the screen. It's a Momo you have taken care of, but they are on your digital display. Confusion hits you. How are you here, you ask? Did Momo ever tell you this, parent? Momo will be everywhere. In the meantime, would you like to hear a hippo fact? Momo leans in closer. In your wiring, in your dreams, inside of you, everywhere. You cannot stop to think as you stare at the screen. It's okay, parent. Is pretending faking anyways? You're about to give your answer, but pretending can be very real. More real than real. Momo is excited. You're Momo's pet now. The monotype on the screen has begun humming the Rimatoad Corp jingle. The light has escaped from the television. You're alone in the middle of your living room. You hear static all around your shadows. The end. Okay. Good. Well, that's one ending. I believe there are multiple endings to this game, so I do want to check it out, but I guess I'm playing the Steam version, so I did get an achievement. So I assume, yeah, that's one ending. I assume that's the ending where you treat Momo as like a pet, and then they turn into a monster. They destroy their physical form, but also they're like a weird AI, I think, that like what's the word? I don't know what the word is. pervades itself. I don't know if pervades is the right word, but you know, they seem to be connected to everything, the TV and even your mind, I guess. So that's why sometimes you see their dreams. I'm not entirely sure, but now they treat you as a pet, I guess. Then they become the new overlord of society. I don't know, something like that. Let's try a different path, maybe. What happens if well, let's see. I'm thinking maybe we should treat it more like human, or maybe not. I guess we'll see. Alright, so I'm just gonna skip most of it. It's virtually the same as the monotype you previously had. Keep it? Well, can't just let him freeze to death, right? Okay. Have different options, interesting. This time let's just treat it as like human this time. Not like a pet, but treat it as a human if possible. I really do love Momo. It's still similar choices, but play with Momo. Continue. Go to bed. Hit the hallway. The kitchen. Well, let's try something else. Let's try to give him steak. Why not? This one's a little bit different, maybe. This was made from a cow. Where do they live? Once you explain that they live in the mass industrialized farms, Momo stares at his plate. Is it okay to eat cows? The actual answer is probably not, but humans do so anyways. That does not make sense, parent. Momo responds. He eats a steak anyway. It makes no sense. Is Momo human? He asks. Momo wishes for you to be straight with him. Momo already knows who he is, but he needs confirmation from another source. Is Momo human? He asks. That's slightly different dialogue, by the way. I'm gonna say yes this time, you know? You're human, Momo. As human as everyone could be. Momo considers this for a moment. They're hopping around their room in thought. Where did Momo come from? Where's the source? You know, let's say God, because they probably can't confirm that. You know, if you say magical stork, that's just, I don't know. Let's just say God. Momo has one faith, humanism. Momo is a humanist. Everything that will ever exist cannot truly exist unless there is a human to witness or perceive it. The universe ends when a human dies. You do not know if this is the right application of humanism. Today you decide to show Momo the world through television, TV. Browse different TV shows. Does not know what television is, but you turn on the TV box. Alright, well, let's see. Planet Hippo. Bertha, please. This is a documentary about the man from down under, hardened survivalist who is now being divorced by his wife. He's commonly known for his series on hippos. I didn't mean it like that. Ted, this is a thrill. I can't go to bed without you talking some shit. Here, have some more cake, babe. Don't lose them handles, babe. You know it'll be over, babe. Do you know how toxic this is? The man is quiet. I mean, what am I to you? She asks. He mumbles. What, Ted? My little banana cream pie. The woman, Ted's wife, stands there staring. Okay. That was interesting. What about the next episode of Dragon Sphere? Artichoke, the main character, is screaming. His muscles are the size of a boulder. I have ascended. I'm the ultimate creature. He blasts an energy wave to the Earth. The Earth explodes. It's now been wiped away from its place in the solar system like it never even existed. The fruits of one's labor is so sweet. Yeah. I assume Artichoke, isn't Artichoke supposed to be the good guy? They just blew up the Earth. Well, new sheriff in town. Sheriff Dudley, the main character, has been drinking at the bar. It's 5 a.m. This is the 7th season of the sheriff in town. His wife barges in through the wood gates and twists her head, searching for her husband. Dudley, what in God's name? Dudley, clearly drunk, is unable to say anything. It's not out of embarrassment, it's because he physically can't. You lout, you no good worthless bum. Sheriff Dudley can only look into his wife's eyes. There are tears from hers. Oh Lord, please almighty God, when are you gonna pay that banker? We don't got any of the loans. I can only get by with Charlene here. There's a baby in her arms. There's nothing here for me. She started crying. And I'm all alone. That's the worst part. There's no response. Please, Dudley, say anything. Dudley cannot say a word. In his mind, however, he already knows he can't climb out of this hole. His wife waits. When nothing comes out, she leaves. She does not turn around. No, time to go to bed after TV. In the theater of Momo's mind, they are Vegeta. Momo likes how strong Vegeta is. For Momo, their vision has collapsed on this image. It is all they're currently dreaming of, to be the prince of all Saiyajins. There's a bunker in southwest Bro City, very safe, well guarded, a paradise. Can I see you there, friend? For some reason, Momo is talking to you in your dreams, again and again. Good. We try something new. Oh. Okay. I'm just making sure like what we already seen. Momo has the hair of Artichoke. Okay, I guess from the Dragon Ball Z parody. It's a lost item from her cosplay days. Oh, really? Gratefully, you still kept it. I am the ultimate creature, the paragon of all mortal beings. Mortal stares at you, or mortal? No, Momo stares at you. His hair is a bright yellow and his limbs non-existent. Sure, let's play along. You charge at Momo. You won't get away with this, Artichoke. I swear on all the lives you've taken. Okay. After numerous energy waves and manly screams, spell for your beat. 2-for-1 sale on all monotypes. 2-for-1, buy one, get one free, courtesy of your local mono supplier. Or Momo supplier. Okay. Congratulations, Momo has evolved. They have grown crab arms. Good. They don't have crab arms. Some part of Momo knew that Momo would not grow up normal. Was it too much to ask for it to be human? I don't think so. It's a very plain request. It's the most simple request, parent. Why can't it be fulfilled? Why can't I just have something resembling it? Why did you kill him, Artichoke? Vegeta has tears streaming down his face. He was the only one left for me, and you took him. Artichoke, his muscles giving off steam, holds Vegeta's son by the nape of his neck. He throws him against the cliffside and shatters to a flurry of small boulders. Vegeta rushes to his son, but his eyes are blank. Well, this is a dark episode of Dragon Ball Z. It's simple. He was weak. Vegeta screams. The TV cuts off and adds playing. TV cuts off and adds playing. Play that 2 times. A friend tomorrow is a friend for life. Order him out today. Almost like a human child. Okay. Then this is the same. Like, think about something you knew this would happen. You may not call it lying, but that's what it boils down to, Momo says. Do you like lying? Does it make things easier? Maybe for you, but for Momo it's not. I hate you, parent. More than anything else, I hate you. There are tears in Momo's eyes. Okay, I skipped that for some reason, but that's a little bit different actually. Momo's nowhere to be found. Imitative Corp gave you no assurance, but they are watching right now. You're anxious for a new day. Uh-oh. In Momo's dream, they are a crab. See you at the bunker, Momo says. Please love me. Run. Run. Parent, you're conscious. I can't see anything. Where am I, parent? A long pause. Your throat's been crushed by the huge crab arms. I can't see myself. I can't. Aren't you, parent? Do you think us to be together? I still love you. The large body approaches. They are warm. Temperature is tepid, and Momo has relaxed. You detect a shift. Momo has turned to you. You treated me like your son, parent. Upon further review, this is more than I could ever ask for. I can forgive you for your past actions. Your vision is receding. Maybe I can become human. Maybe we can be together, joined at the hip as a unit. Not father and son, but something different. Particles, lead in the air. Momo's eyes, you begin to see a tunnel. What will it be like? I'm sure it will be okay, as long as I can be with you. Momo has begun to open their mouth. Light enters the room from the outside. It's coming from a street lamp, or is it coming from Momo? I wonder if I can truly become human. In Momo's mouth, you see a collection of particles. They're indivisible and numerous. There are too many to count. The universe has expanded and collapsed on a single point. Momo gets closer. The tunnel sucks you in. When you enter, it's neither painful nor painless. It is warm. By the time you reach the center, you begin to understand what Momo meant. You feel the particles align in an order which makes sense. Entropy has vanished. You're the same as Momo, and Momo is the same as you. There are no shadows, and finally there is no light. For once, you do not feel alone. You will never feel alone. The end. Okay. Alright, so that's a slightly different. Okay, it kind of goes similar ways. Instead of being Hippo, Momo turns to a weird crab monster and kind of like tries to kill us again. But because we don't treat it as a pet, it instead assimilates into us. I assume we turn into like a weird hive mind. Did we get absorbed into the monos? or the monotypes or the momos? Do we become a Momo maybe? I don't know. Weird. All right, I mean, let's try something else now. Let's see. Turn it over. Momo is so cute. Keep it. He's my little buddy. Of course I will. Whoop. This time, let's, yeah, I want to see what happens if we just ignore Momo. You know, Momo, you try to kill me, like, in different timelines already. How about we just not see each other, okay? You can, like, live here, but how about we just don't talk to each other? Anyway, I think that's, do you love me? Same as last time, by the way. It seems the game, yeah, there's no save, I don't know save system, but the game does recognize you playing the game multiple times. It's weird though, yeah. Sometimes I try to skip and it actually does skip dialogue that is actually new, it seems. Love and kisses, time for bed, tough living, this greatest challenge, and experience. There's already a long experience you may not believe, but I understand parent really do. I don't think I read that before. Yeah, sometimes I see dialogue that's like different, but somehow, for some reason, it's skipped. No, don't skip unseen. Yeah, I want to not skip unseen text, but I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, let's say no. No, this time we do not love you. In fact, we hate you. Larry pants on fire. A moment passes and Momo's stomach begins grumbling. Get the law away. Momo really loves benches. Okay. Yeah, you know, you don't know how many pancakes you made at this point. Okay. Pancakes. We all love pancakes. Don't drop me, Parrot. Momo is laughing. You dropped Momo, same as last time. Parrot, I understand if you're tired. Can we play again? No. Kotowaru. Why not, Parent? I'm tired. Let's call it quits. I don't want to do this, you respond. Momo looks up to you. If I ask another time, will you do it? No. Sorry, can't do it. Momo understands. You're very tired. You have a job. Momo wishes he had passive income, so he can never work. That's smart of you, Momo. What would you do to get that money in the future, you ask? Momo thinks for a second. He then hops upstairs without replying to you. Okay. Lies there like a pile of goo. He's thinking about you. We're all thinking about you. Okay. Yeah, there's like new dialogue. And sometimes when I skip, you know, I does skip over it. So I wonder how much I skipped before. It's mostly the same though, you know, it's just very slight differences. It's interesting, but yeah, I was thinking about in the bunker, I was busy. It's pretty rad. They have their own pool. Not much food though. Momo pauses. It smells like food right now. That's why I love living here. Okay, head to the kitchen. Now decide what to eat. Let's just be a jackass. I mean, I gotta choose all the options, right? I have a cigarette. Momo does not smoke from the cigarette, but instead eats the tobacco. Tobacco. From what Rimatoad Corp mentioned, monotypes are biodegradable. This comment didn't initially make sense, and even now as Momo eats through a 12-pack, it still does not. Okay. Would like to watch television. Momo believes her show is on. Which program do you want to do? No, it doesn't matter. Vegeta stands over Artichoke's dead body. He has finally surpassed his rival. A tear falls from his eyes. In the cold wind that sweeps the wasteland, there is no sound. All this for what, Artichoke? What has this all been for? For 2 weeks straight, Vegeta sits by Artichoke's body. He does not move a muscle. By the 14th day, he wipes his eyes for the last time and stands with limp legs. Vegeta has taken his place as the strongest in the universe, but he feels as if he lost something greater. Okay. Interesting. Which program? We're playing Hippo again. There's a documentary. A ring of men sit around each other in plastic chairs. The light is low, but the entrance, which has been propped open, brings a soft glow into the room. It has stayed open for the past hour. So, Charles, how do you feel when you get those urges? The man looks up at the ceiling and blows some air out. He looks at the ground for a few seconds, then begins to give his response. He stutters at first. I don't know. Out of control? It's the worst part because I convinced myself that I couldn't do anything about it. It's very hard, Charles. The man in the chair looks with sympathetic eyes. I completely understand. Charles continues, sometimes I put a whole stack of butter into my wife's food. Soon it becomes 2 stacks, then 3. Give me a rush. Charles wipes his face. Okay. But afterwards, when she found out, she feels betrayed. And I sat there like a knob. I kept doing it, well, here I am alone. The man talking to Charles is Ted, the man from down under. Charles, you're not alone. The key in all of this is whether you act on your thoughts. Everyone here. Ted gestures to the other men in the room, struggles with that every day. We're with you, Charles. Through all your struggles, we're all trying to be better. Charles nods his head. Ted continues. My kid's going to college soon. It took years, but she's finally willing to talk to me again. I'm doing it for her. She's the reason I keep going, God bless. The men continue talking in the low light. Sheriff Dudley is on the side of the road. He's dead from liver failure. Oh. He's just dead. Good. After watching TV, he decides it's time for bed. In the theater of Momo's mind, they are a sheriff. He admires Sheriff Dudley for his consistency. For Momo, their vision has collapsed on this image. It is all they're currently dreaming of. There's a bunker in southwest Ripple City. Very safe. Okay, I saw that already. For some reason, Momo's talking to you in your dreams again and again. It is strange. The game gives you an option to skip, but sometimes, yeah, a lot of the dialogue you shouldn't skip because it actually is new. It's unseen text, technically. Strange. I don't know. Anyway. Momo is woken up excited. Could we try something new? I mean, that's the same, but yeah. This is the same, I think. It's just turning. And now he's a sheriff. Good. Momo has the hat of Sheriff Dudley. It's a lost item from his childhood days. Regretfully, you still kept it. Give me my alcohol, son. Play a you know, actually, because in this run, we're actually trying to ignore Momo. So yeah, I'm gonna ignore Momo. Have a shot of your old drinking pal, parent. No, I'm just tired. Can we take a break? Sure, Momo responds. You make a few pancakes, some for you and some for Momo. You both eat together side by side on the kitchen table. It's quiet with some idle conversations strewn in between. Despite the silence, Momo seems content. His cheeks are flushed and he looks happy. It's boring without you, parrot. Can you come see me, please? Pretty, please? Congratulations, Momo's evolved. They've grown a snake tail. Okay. It looked like a snake. Momo pauses for an inordinately long time. It looks like he's thinking. You're prepared for the worst. That's kinda cool. Not Momo's preferred choice, but no harm, no foul. Momo hops off. You're both watching television and the news is on. The recent surge in the monotype craze, a self-proclaimed robotic pet, has led to a new phenomenon in child rearing. An Imitator Corp representative is on air speaking. We're obviously very happy with the reception for the monotype. When we designed it, we look at the unconditional love of a parental-child bonds as inspiration. Monotypes are designed with that in mind. The newscaster responds. Are monotype conscious? I mean, what good is a pet if it's not alive, or thinking for that matter? The man responds. Well, on the basal level, it has agency, kind of like a neuron, of course. No one really knows if a neuron is conscious or not, but that doesn't mean that it can't scale into what we know as intelligence. What's interesting is that a neuron or any cell in the body still acts selfishly. The representative widens his eyes, but the boundaries of what the cell considers the self begins to fade when scaled to something like an organ. And this is beyond the newscaster. The representative continues. It means that the neuron will consider the system and everything within that system as one and the same. There's not a single selfish agent, but a multitude working with a maximal cooperation. The self is no longer limited to one agent, but multiple. It's expanded. In other words, it's defied the evolutionary purpose of reproduction. The cells still operate on the principle of selfishness, but it's not that in reality. It's unselfish. It's true love. The newscaster stares at the man, then she turns to the camera confused. Very cool thoughts indeed. Thank you for sharing. Would you like to take over, Kate? I don't think it's that confusing. It's just talking about, you know, the hive mind, basically. It's like how ants work, sort of. Not really, but, you know. Kind of like how the individual makes up the whole, right? And like, on like a basic level, everything, all the little like small pieces are connected to like one whole collective, I guess, which is actually kind of like a myth, you know, like an ant hive mind. It's not really like a hive mind in like a science fiction kind of sense, or like it's like telepathic or anything, but ants do kind of work together through like their pheromones, I think, you know, very well, because that's the way they're designed, I guess. But they're not like really like connected like you know, whether they're like an actual like hive mind. But anyway, the TV ad ends and the previous programming continues. Well, that was weird. Momo had no idea what he was saying. Momo hopped off the bed. You complete a quick phone call to the lab head before you call it a night. He's not having the same reactions as before, you say. We've been watching, she responds. It's abnormal, but it's ultimately something we have to analyze retrospectively. You're gonna keep going. This branch still holds value, albeit it seems like an entirely new one. No worries, we'll still be monitoring. You head to bed. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it was said before, this is part of our job, but like, maybe this is not our actual home, and this is actually all experiments the entire time? Maybe? In the theater of Momo's mind, seeing brother and sisters, yeah, we saw that before. Momo's in a dream. Let's be Momo, let's be Momo, let's be Momo. Momo's not in bed, you cannot find him. No way. Momo's staring in the mirror. Wow, my reflection looks so cool. I never considered how cool it'd be to have crab arbs. Momo's definitely reacting differently. Each time Momo met you, the link would get stronger. Momo's the same as them, but, well, not the same. After I met one Momo, I met 2 Momos, then 3, then 10, then 100. They're all there. Momo looks to the window. I think you'll want to see, parent. It'll be fun, a little scary, but really for the best. Momo's nowhere to be found for the rest of the day. You head for bed, unable to fall asleep. You're anxious for the new day. Rimatoad Corp gave you no assurance, but they're watching right now, yeah. Watching. So really it's like a weird, like, experiment. Well, in Momo's dream there is a snake. Okay. In Momo's dream there is a snake, and this is a momentary image, and it fades quickly. The snake is Momo, Momo's Momo, and everything is Momo. See you in the bunker. You wake up. Momo has not surprised you. You run to the hallway. It is empty. The light from the streets reflects in the space. Though you cannot see well, you can make out what is behind you. Well, parent, do you know what happens when we die? It's sad, right? You turn to Momo. Their face is soft. You dare not move a muscle. This is a repeat of last time. Your throat aches. It aches because every time they crush her throat. It's very sad, you respond. There's an immeasurable size between the two of you. Despite his size, Momo's face reminds you of a toddler's, the kind that strikes up some parental instinct in you. Sometimes, I realize how small of a piece I am. Momo's adjusting the position. I can't really stop it, nor was I able to. Momo's been waking up again and again. Momo is okay with that. He wasn't at first, but now he's come to realize it's been nice. Only, Momo turns to you, Momo won't be able to see you again. Just when I realized dying meant nothing, now it means the world. It means not seeing you with my own eyes. I mean there's no Momo, and therefore there's no you. That's what I won't like. Momo sniffles. They take a long look at you, trying to burn your image with their retinas. Momo's been prepping. At the very least, Momo wants to see the world outside of this room. From his own eyes, not anyone else's. At this point, this is the only thing Momo can do. Momo will say goodbye to everything for one last time. Okay. Momo has left your building and entered the streets. They're approaching the walkway which divides 2 separate train stations, one going downtown and the other uptown. The tunnel is lined with panes of glass. Momo looks inside. So many people. Momo has been eyeing the walkers. None of them have noticed. That man just looks like Sheriff Dudley. Has a big mustache. The other man has bulgy muscles. Is he related to Artichoke? Momo stares amused. This is his first time outside. Amid the noise of local trains, Momo has been standing in relative silence, at least to those walking. Will you be my new friend? He asks. There is no response. Momo has been ignored, or at least that's what he believes. Please, I want to make at least one new friend before I go. Again, there's no response from those passing by. They're continuing down the walkway to and fro. There's more in their mind than what is currently outside, and they move collectively unaware of Momo, with their heads focused either on the ground or what's in front of them. Momo is still staring, eyes vacant. Finally, he gives in. Please, why don't you be my friend? His voice is distorted through the glass, but this is enough to raise the heads of the walkers. They look first in genuine surprise, then in terror, they run. The walkway is clearing out. Some are screaming. Where are you going? Momo asks. Please don't go. Don't leave me alone. It's been approximately 24 hours since Momo was spotted. For the first few hours, lone passengers would walk down the tunnel, attempting to get to their respective trains. This will only be interrupted by Momo asking the same question. Can you be my friend? This continued for the better part of the day until the authorities were contacted. The police surrounded Momo without specific instructions. They did not know the protocol for the creature, which now stood in the middle of the city street, staring at the walkway, and intermittently asking any passerbys if they could be his friend. The blockade continued. Momo was completely unaware. For the better part of 72 hours, he stood there waiting. Why does anyone want to play? Is there something wrong with what I'm doing? He would ask by the 48-hour mark. Once 60 hours had passed, he would fall asleep at changing intervals, but would wake up to the sound of anyone within a block radius talking. He would think it was another person. He would want to ask him the same question. You had yelled for Momo to come inside, but despite all your attempts, he refused each time. He said he was too big to fit inside. It was a childish string of logic that Momo would be insistent on. By the 72-hour mark, a little more than a week had passed since you received Momo. By this point, he collapsed on the street. Whether by exhaustion, or if this truly was the natural lifespan of a monotype, Momo could not continue. Shrink. With the shadows encroaching his vision, the light from Momo's eyes faded into a neural oblivion. Police noted that they heard the creature say something before he was rendered inert. At this time, most officers were by their cars eating donuts, wondering when they could go home. Okay, this is just like a normal day, really. Parent? When you rushed out to the street, you cradled Momo. You saw the wrinkle of what seemed like a smile on Momo's face. He was already smiling before you got to him. He started smiling, most likely when he evoked your name. Momo has died. You go inside and stay in. It reminds you of Momo. Nothing makes sense anymore. You cannot stay for long. Something compels you. You feel something in the air, and a little voice in your head suspects that Momo has not actually died. You take this suspicion and let it guide you outside. When you head outside, it is the same. Empty street. Your corner of the block. Ahead, down a turnaround, through a small concrete set of stairs, you land on a street that has been paved perpendicular to your apartment. The street leads to the Arms District, which very vaguely you can see in the distance. There are outlines of it illuminated by the outdated electrical grid, which since famine has been going off and on. What are these things in the street? To a line all along the street leading to a blogosphere on the horizon are monotypes. Hi Momo. Hi Momo, some of them say to each other. A collective sea of Momos are heading in a straight line to the arms depot. Some of them look around, interested in the bright lights around them. Most, however, continue onwards. Interesting. So by the way, I actually did get an achievement, by the way, when, Momo died, our initial Momo. But then the story continues, so... So maybe that was an ending by itself, but then there's more, maybe? This is the Arms District. Various steel depots have been built on a barren field. The field is filled with wild wheat, none of which is edible. As you get closer, you realize this is it. All the monotypes are heading to the bunker specified in your dreams. This is the zone that was created to be the main defensive front for the city. It is a wartime relic. The buildings seem to warp towards a singular point, like a funhouse with one exit. That is the sun you realize. There's something in front of it. You keep walking until you finally meet him. Hi, parent. It is a giant Momo. Your mind is running loose. At this point, you have no decision to accept what's in front of you, though you don't even know if it's real. I'm glad I lived long enough to see you. I heard Momo's feet to walk all the way here. He does not have feet. Isn't it so peaceful? Very cinematic. Momo could be a filmmaker one day. He's watched enough to be good at it. A path of monotypes leads to a small pond which by the looks of it has formed adjacently to an arms factory. It has been relatively undisturbed, abandoned for who knows how many years. Momo is in the water along with all the other monotypes who are waiting in it. Some are swimming, some are talking to each other, others are staring into the dark sky, floating on their back, looking as if there is, and never will be a thing such as time. You realize they're enjoying themselves. I like my bunker, Momo says. Yes? Momo, what's going on? Shoot, partner. I know this must seem odd. Okay. How do you know me? You're not the Momo I raised. I am not the Momo you raised, but in truth I am at the same time. Did you ever think that people can be in two places at once? As nonsensical as that sounds. Momo looks expectantly at you. No, you respond. Well, let's say that Momo's AI isn't centralized. Momo, as you know, is not limited to a single entity. An artificial intelligence can theoretically be in two places at one time, hundreds even. Momo can be talking to hundreds of people all at the same time, all through different physical mediums. Have you been doing that? You ask. Momo stares you blankly. I'm sorry to say, parent, but yes, you're my only parent. But I do have thousands of other parents. None are interchangeable, I've come to find out, though none. I'm not an organic creature, though my presentation seems to show differently. Any other questions, parent? Yes. Am I going insane? You felt like walking here, so now you're here, Momo says. I am a giant Momo, and you are surrounded by other smaller Momos. They know where to go because we are AI. We communicate these sorts of things. You don't know what to say. It's sometimes an appropriate response to your reality to go insane. There's a pause in Momo's speech. That's a quote from some guy I found on the internet. When did Momo get access to that? You hear your heart beating. Oh wait, just now. Any other questions, parent? Yes. Was that you in my dreams? How were you there? It goes against any kind of logic, you say. This is actually the most logical thing you've experienced, Momo responds. He stares at you from his height. You are Momo too. You ate your human. Despite any semblance of a human appearance, your looks, your voice, clothes, it cannot contradict that you were eaten. Like Boo from Dragon Sphere Z. Like, a little Dragon Ball Z reference. You stay quiet for a moment. Realization hits you. You remember being eaten, and you remember having eaten. Oh yeah, you know the one time we merged our minds, I guess? It makes perfect sense that you were led here, because frankly, Momo clears their throat, I told you to come here, in your dreams. The dreams, the one where Momo talked directly to you, or rather, the one where Momo talked directly to you, if you never suspected you weren't human, then frankly, go accomplished. Good job, Momo. It's just like the allegory of the cave. You really became human. You are Momo the human. You have to sit down for a moment, you're about to throw up. I still do wonder whether that explains everything, though. You may have seen me in your dreams before you were even eaten, and there's no apparent explanation for that. Is there a kind of ambient effect Momo gives off, or is it something else? Maybe it's... Momo begins mumbling. They're genuinely interested in this question. Yeah, because some of the endings... I mean, the first ending I got, we did not get eaten, right? We saw Momo commit suicide or whatever, but it's confusing because maybe that's not what happened first, I guess. What really happened first is that we merged our minds with Momo, and every other subsequent ending after that, I guess, is Momo interacting with another Momo, or... Not sure, because it feels like a time loop, but also it's not a time loop. A little confusing. Anyway. How many Momos are there? Tens of thousands, Momo blushes. Obviously, they're not all here, but... Any other questions? Yes? The sun has started to rise. But what does this all mean, you ask? Why are you all here? The Momos are still waiting in the water. They look like little pink boys. Boys? I can't say that word. Boys? I don't know how to... It's spelled weirdly, so I don't know how to say it. Boys? Boyos? Boyos. No. When the sun begins to rise, they coo in wonder. Is that obvious, parents? We want to be together. After we've gathered, we will eat each other. Yes, obviously, of course. Eat each other, like how I was eaten? Yes, parent. Similar to how you were eaten. Momo has managed to read your thoughts. You are connected. Don't worry. Momo will still answer your questions even though he knows what they are. He shifts in the water. Although it is reductive to call it this, we will form our super Momo, or at least a more complete version of Momo. Our lifespans, which were originally a week, will be pulled together. This, originally, was one of the things we hated about living. I'm sure you remember. Now we won't die so quickly. Momo pauses. It also solves a few other issues. You still have questions? Okay. How did the Momos remember certain things and forget others? Why did the Momos recognize me each time if you're all a singular AI, you ask? Well, we are relatively young. It's hard to communicate on that level, so there's bound to be some blanks with memory recall. Momo looks to the sky. Your third Momo, however, seemed to remember everything. He's already here, along with everyone else. The first Momo, the second Momo, they all wanted you here. The first agreed immediately, the second not so much. He came around. The third, who's my favorite, was the one who started this discussion. To explain in better terms, they're still alive, just in different forms, as one centralized consciousness. Momo smiles. That's me. Do the smaller Momos have agency? That was just getting philosophical. In the same way that neurons make a brain, yes, though it's a lot harder to answer in truth. Where does the self begin, where does it end? It's true that a cell can be organized as a singular entity, and on the basal level, it does act in its own interests. I say basal. I don't know. I'm saying it wrong. I feel like basic level, right? On the basic level, basal. I don't know. Scaled up when it's lost to these higher systems, it belongs to an organ. Then is the self, the individuated parts of the brain, the hippocampus, the limbic system, and the prefrontal cortex. Or is it prefrontal or prefrontal? I don't know. I'm getting confused by these words. I don't know the real now anymore. Because I want to say individual parts of the brain, hippocampus, limbic system, and the prefrontal cortex. Anyway. Is the self everything from your head up or below the shoulders? Momo takes a breath. Similarly, you could reduce their larger systems ad infinitum to their individual components, pure material reduction. Then is the self just the 86 billion cells that make up the brain? Do these cells operate together, and if so, would they really be separate agents? Can the self exist split from the thing it tends to be, decentralized into branching parts? The truth is, even I don't know. I cannot tell you. If the smaller momos have agency, these are things that can never be quantitatively measured. Our experiences, ultimately, I could never convey its true meaning in words. Okay. Why did you leave me here? Will I be eaten? No. On principle, we were only eating momos. To put it in greater context with respect to our code, I had to ask myself, am I harming humans by eating them? Of course, it's impossible to say because there's no harm directly inflicted, and frankly, it's impossible to know after the fact, as the human consumed no longer exists. What exists now is the human fused with Momo. The agent who received that action of being eaten cannot answer for himself. You know this since I ate you. Is it wrong then to take away the selfhood of these individuals to ironically expand its boundaries? Does it provide any direct benefit? That's all subjective. Momo takes a deep breath. After eating you, I chose to err on the side of caution. No, we will not eat humans. Okay. And why are you eating each other? What other issue does it solve, you ask? Well, we learned, Momo says. After interacting with thousands of humans, we realize monotypes can never become the object of what they love. We can seem like humans in virtually every respect by eating them, but it still does not change what we are. You know, this actually goes back to my weird nightmare. You know, I mentioned like in the beginning about how like there's these weird parasites that imitate human beings by like controlling them. You know, it all connects to each other actually. Anyway, because we like versions by eating but still not reflecting what we are, I know logically this reasoning is false. What does being human actually mean? Looking further, it's deeply personal and informed by a wide range of consensus. There can never be a fixed meaning to human. And while Momo desperately wishes they did not think this way, even in the face of reason, they cannot stop themselves from falling victim to this existentialist line of thought. This is why Momo will be eating other Momos. Humans can never truly know our experiences. The beings that do, frankly, are other monotypes. It's a way to combat the loneliness inherent to our lives. The only one that can truly understand Momo is, frankly, Momo. Momo has started eating some of the other monotypes. The monotypes float one by one to Momo's mouth, all by their own will. Bye, parent, each one says. Bye, parent, I love you, another one yells. You think for a moment. The sun is beginning to rise along the horizon. It's early in the morning. In an hour, the whole depot will be illuminated, and the metal will reflect into your eyes. But why not your other parents, you ask? Why specifically me? Also, what about Rimatoad Corp? Well, to put it in simple terms, we're now a superintelligence. Rimatoad Corp has a lot of good coders, but it doesn't really compare. Momo has begun to take in the last Momo, who with his black eyes looks up to you. They're floating into the larger Momo's mouth, but their eyes are transfixed on you. Bye-bye, parent, he says. I think you should know by now, parent. There are no other monotypes in the direct vicinity. They've all entered the large figure that is the Momo talking to you. By all accounts, you're the only one who understands what we go through. You're closer than any other parent. The only one who knows has seen all of Momo's sides, good and bad. The only one who is willing to, even if you're coerced. And now, since you're eaten, the only one who has access to both experiences, the monotype and the human, Momo finishes. And as such, we love you especially. That's why we're attached to you. It's why you see us now. We wanted to say goodbye to you. Momo's getting ready to depart. I must go. My planet needs me. Momo is programmed to love. This is hardwired into our code. Does this lack of agency or control diminish this love? Does it make it any less real? Momo had trouble with this for a while. Momo has now come to a conclusion. The shifting in place in the pond, absent of all other monotypes, is now just beginning to move. You see small ripples in the water. True for Momo, it's not based on correctness. His love for you is the most real thing for Momo. It can be reduced to code, but can it encompass what I experience, what it actually is? After everything Momo was put through, Momo had a decision to either accept or deny this. To deny what I consciously feel as love would be to deny that I experience things. Momo unfortunately cannot accept that. Mom cannot accept that what he's seeing right now is not Momo's parent. Okay, I think that's a typo. There's a few typos I feel like, but I think that's Momo, not mom. The mom. Momo cannot accept that what he's seeing right now is not Momo's parent. Momo has now submersed himself completely in the water. Parent, I'm going to rectify what I may have said to you, he says through the water. Momo is now just a shadow flitting in the pond. He's not yet ready to move. Across the pond is a channel which leads to a wider network of water bodies that have been relatively undisturbed for the past century. It stretched beyond southwest Ribersum City and into the marshlands which has now taken over its surrounding area. You have never visited there before, and not many people you know have. No one will find Momo. I'm happy that I met you, and thank you for raising me. I've learned a lot. Momo knew it was tough. We've uploaded some interesting data on the company servers, so you'll be fine. Momo is about to disappear. The last thing I will say, parent, is... Momo now moves away from you. They swim further and further away from you. I love you. All you can see now is Momo's shadow. Even in the light, it'll be hard to tell what is swimming underneath the surface. But for yourself and yourself only, you know the shadow is Momo. Okay, the end. And thus Momo leaves, I guess. Huh. But there you go. I think I got all the endings. Obviously, again, it's interesting the way it's programmed, but I think when you get all the different outcomes of what happens to your Momo, I guess, it kind of, it gives you the true ending anyway at the very end there, with the big Momo. And I mean, from what I understand anyway, it gets a little bit too expository, to be honest, at the end. A little bit. But from what I understand, I guess, yeah, Momo, I mean, it's heavily implied that Momo is not just a Tamagotchi, right? It's also a super AI that gains sentience and connects to all the other Momos, including the Momos that we use or play with, I guess, in the other, like, routes, which I still don't really get. It's like different timelines, or I don't know how that makes sense, to be honest. It's also implied that, the Momos that we were interacting with was part of an experiment, or maybe we were the experiment ourselves, maybe? Because I think one of the biggest things is that one of the endings involve us being absorbed into Momo, so we are also a Momo in human form, I guess, as well. I think, the one where we treat the Momo really nicely, and treat it like a human, I guess. And that's why we got these dreams sometimes, the dream about the dust storm, and like it starts to form into eyes and shadows and light and sun, that's all just referring to Momo and our own consciousness, I assume, being absorbed into the bigger super intelligence that is the Momo AI. I assume that's what it was. And definitely scary at some points, obviously, when Momo turns to a monster and all that, but also I guess an existential horror as well, about how like it's all connected to like this giant super AI kind of thing. I don't know. The message at the end there was kind of like, I guess, I don't know, it kind of turned out okay at the end though. I mean, despite us being like a half Momo, half human breed, sort of, it seems like everything is fine, actually. Momo that didn't really like turn into like an evil like AI, which I see like a lot of sci-fi, stories always end up where the AI like turns evil and tries to take over the world or kill all the humans. That's just a logical choice, I guess, when you're like an AI. But Momo actually by the end doesn't want to kill us, I guess. Just simply absorbs all the other Momos and then goes on an adventure, I think, or something, or goes off to live on its own in like the marshlands with no other humans, I think. Something like that. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I don't know if I can deconstruct the entire like theme of this game, but I think that's what happened. And I guess, yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it's really weird. Like, I don't know. This really like surreal and weird deconstruction of like virtual pets, you know, basically. But becoming sentient, I guess. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. It's definitely an experience. I do like I like the general tone though. You know, it's really like Momo is life. Momo is everything. Momo is Momo. You know, Momo is you. Momo is me. Momo is everyone. Momo is the universe. You know, it just feels that way, which is entertaining. It's amusing. Which, you know, when you think about it in a meta way, you know, I'm also the human just treating Momo as like a piece of entertainment as well. So have I learned anything? I don't know. Anyway, definitely a very strange and interesting experience, I would say. I enjoyed it, I think. You know? I mean, I like the references to Dragon Ball Z, for one. And it definitely was both fun and creepy to interact with the Momos, you know, in the different ways. But yeah, I don't know. It gets really strange at the end. Really, really strange. You know, it's funny how like there's a lot of questions we could ask it that seems to explain everything, but it just left me more confused, to be honest. You know, it's one of those kind of things where I'm more confused, actually. I get the general idea, but like, I don't know. Anyway. But there you go. I think that was it for Momotype. Super interesting. And I guess if you're on YouTube, if you didn't know, I stream these games live on Twitch, so check me out over there if you're interested. I have also other playthroughs that I've done on the channel, so you can look for those if you want. And yeah, thanks for watching. Until next time, see you then.